Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that has stirred the entire Warzone mobile community. A topic filled with uncertainty, hope, confusion, and a lot of emotional frustration. The possibility that low-end devices might once again be supported in future updates. But before we go too deep, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. This is not confirmed by any official statement. It's a swirling storm of rumors. Leakers whispering across Discord servers and Reddit threads, and frustrated gamers praying that the game becomes more inclusive again. Yes, maybe, not now, but in some future update, support for certain low-end devices might return. But will all low-end devices come back into the fold? Honestly, that seems like a long shot. Let me take you behind the scenes of what's really happening, and why the dream of playing Warzone Mobile on budget devices might be fading faster than we think. Because there's one harsh truth no one wants to talk about. This game is no longer just a game. It's a technical marvel, and marvels don't always come cheap. Now let's imagine you're someone who played the beta or soft launch version of Warzone Mobile on a phone with 6 GB of RAM, an average GPU, maybe an older version of Android, and it worked. Not perfectly, maybe not even smoothly, but it worked. Then one day, a new update rolls in, and suddenly your device is no longer supported. Crashes, black screens, unplayable frame rates. And what do you get from the developers? Silence. No post. No explanation. Just silence. And that silence, that's what hurts the most. Because for so many players across the globe, Warzone Mobile was more than just a game. It was a daily escape. A moment of adrenaline after school or work. A way to connect with friends across continents. And now it's gone. Just like that. No warning. No support. But let's get into why this actually happened. And why bringing back support for those devices is so incredibly difficult. It starts with something most players don't even realize is happening under the hood: bindless textures. Now I know the phrase sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but bindless textures are a cutting-edge feature that allows the game engine to handle graphics in a much more efficient and powerful way. This is the reason why Warzone Mobile looks closer to a console title than any mobile shooter we've seen before. But here's the catch: bindless textures only work on Vulkan 1.2 or higher. And guess what? A lot of older phones simply don't support Vulkan 1.2. That's not something you can fix with a patch. It's a hardware limitation. So when someone asks, why can't I play the game on my old device anymore? The answer isn't always about RAM or storage. It's about the GPU. It's about the very code that powers the game. It's about the technology that some phones just weren't built for. Even if your phone has 8 GB of RAM, if it runs on an older GPU, or if it's still stuck on Android 10, the chances of getting back into Warzone Mobile are slim. Developers can't just optimize it and make it magically work. It's not laziness, it's reality. But here's the emotional part. We get it. The disappointment, the heartbreak. Because when Warzone Mobile first launched, it carried a promise that Call of Duty's most iconic Battle Royale experience could be in the palm of your hands, no matter your phone. It made everyone feel included, and now it feels like that promise has been broken for millions of players. So what can be done? That's the million-dollar question. At the very least, we deserve communication. Even if the answer is a hard no, we need a developer post, a community update, a single tweet that says, here's why low-end devices are no longer supported. Because silence leads to speculation, and speculation leads to hope, and hope, when not grounded in truth, always ends in disappointment. As we stand here today, the Warzone mobile community is divided. On one side, we have players on flagship phones, enjoying 60 FPS, high graphics, buttery smooth gameplay. On the other side, there are those watching from the sidelines, still checking the Play Store every day, still hoping for an update that makes the game playable again. And that hope, that raw, human hope, is what keeps this conversation alive. But hope alone won't change the system. What we need is transparency. What we need is empathy. And most importantly, what we need is a developer team that remembers who they're building this game for. Not just the elite few with expensive phones, but the entire community. Warzone was never about exclusion. It was about chaos, speed, teamwork, survival. It was about being thrown into a world where anything can happen and making something happen. That spirit should carry over to Warzone Mobile. And right now, it feels like that spirit is fading. Now, let's address the rumors. Multiple leakers have claimed that some low-end devices might get support back. And maybe there's truth to that, but let's not forget that low-end is a moving target. In 2025, a phone with 8 gigabytes RAM and a solid mid-range GPU might still be considered low-end in flagship circles. So when leakers say low-end device support is returning, what do they actually mean? If you're holding a phone with just 4 gigabytes of RAM, a Mali G52 GPU, and Android 10, I won't sugarcoat it, your chances are slim. But if you've got 8 gigabytes of RAM, a Dimensity 8020 or Snapdragon 778G, and at least Android 11 or 12, maybe, just maybe, you're in the conversation. Not confirmed, not promised, but possible. So where do we go from here? The answer isn't simple, but the first step is awareness. And that's what this video is for. To open up the conversation, to say the things the developers won't, to tell the stories of those who feel left out and unheard. Because Warzone Mobile isn't just a game, it's a global platform. And when you exclude even a part of that global audience, you're losing something powerful. You're losing heart. I know this video isn't the usual gameplay montage or update recap, but sometimes we have to stop and talk about the things that matter. About the people who make this game what it is. About the silent players, the ones sitting in the dark, still waiting, still hoping. To the developers, if you're watching this, we respect the work you've done. We understand the limitations, but please give us something. A post, a response, a voice. To the players, stay informed. Don't let silence control the narrative. Speak up, share your story, because the more we talk, the harder it is for the silence to continue. Warzone Mobile was built on hype, but if it wants to survive, it must be built on honesty, and that's all I have to say for now. If you're someone still waiting, still watching videos like this hoping for a miracle update, I see you. You're not alone. This community is bigger than any one device. And even if it feels like the system left you behind, you're still a part of what made Warzone Mobile great in the first place. To everyone who stuck around through this entire video, thank you. Your time matters, and so does your voice. Don't let it fade. Share this video. Comment your thoughts. Tell the devs how you feel, because when enough voices rise, even silence has to listen. My name is Little Falinstar YT, and this is more than just content. This is a call out, a conversation, a reminder that gaming is supposed to unite us, not divide us by hardware specs. Until next time, stay strong, stay vocal, and never stop fighting for the games you love. Peace out.